Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q3 FY25 earnings conference call of Akzo Nobel Limited, hosted by ICICI Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Aniruddha Joshi from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you.
Thanks, Yashasri. On behalf of ICICI Securities, we welcome you all to Q3 FY25 and 9 months results webinar of Akzo Nobel India. We have with us today senior management represented by Mr. Rajiv Rajgopal, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. R. Krishna, CFO and Whole Director, Mr. Rajiv L. Jha, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer. Now I hand over the call to Mr. Rajiv Jha for initial regulatory comments, and then we will have a comment from the management on the quarterly performance. Post that, we will open the question and answer session. Thanks, sir. Over to you, Mr. Rajiv Jha.
Okay, so good evening, everyone, to this Q3 investor call of Akzo Nobel India. And before we start, we are having with us Mr. Rohit Totla, the whole-time director as well, who is representing the management team. As per our process, let me start with that safe harbor statement, which is this presentation contains statements which address such key issues as Akzo Nobel's growth strategy, future financial results, market positions, product development, products in the pipeline, and product approvals. Such statements should be carefully considered, and it should be understood that many factors could cause forecast and actual results to differ from these statements. These factors include, but are not limited to, price fluctuations, currency fluctuations, developments in raw material and personnel costs, pensions, physical and environmental risks, legal issues, and legislative, fiscal, and other regulatory measures, as well as significant market disruptions. Stated competitive positions are based on management estimates, supported by information provided by specialized external agencies. For a more comprehensive discussion of the risk factors affecting our business, please see our latest annual report. Also, the company has been making the required disclosures or clarification from time to time to BSE and NSE pertaining to Akzo Nobel NVs, which is our parent or promoter entity, media release on portfolio review with initial focus on DECO South Asia, and the management would not be responding to any general and/or a specific query in this regard in this investors' call. However, the investors or public at large would be kept informed of any updates in this regard as per the listing regulations. So I'm handing over the floor to Mr. Rajiv Rajgopal.
Thank you, Rajiv. Anirudh, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hope so. Good evening to all the members who've joined, all our investors. First and foremost, thank you for joining us on a late Friday evening. What I thought our entire investor deck has already been uploaded in the afternoon on the website. So I'm between me, Krishna. We are not going to be. There's an echo. Yeah. So we are not going to be repeating or sort of running through the deck, but I'll give you quickly some highlights and we'll move straight into the Q&A. We also will, I'm sure, over the next few weeks, month, have an opportunity to interact with many of you for various reasons. So what I thought is it's better we quickly keep this to largely the performance of the quarter. And if there are, of course, there will be open questions, I'm happy to answer them. Yeah. First and foremost, as the top line for the quarter ended, as all of you have read, we've done an income of 1056 crores, which is about 2%. We believe that this is a strong performance given the sort of performances that the market and the industry would see otherwise. In the paints business, we've had a very low, almost touch base, a low single-digit growth in value. In volume, we registered growth. In the coatings business, we've had a high single-digit growth in value, and we also had a mid-single-digit growth in volume. So overall, volume is a very positive story. It's after many quarters that we are seeing a bit of a surge. Remember that one of the challenges we've had in this quarter is that from a mix perspective, particularly in segments like putty, in decorative paints, we've not very aggressively participated, given the prevailing market conditions and the discounts that are operating in that segment. Yeah, so that's the first part. On the coatings vertical, all I would like to say is we've had very strong performances in the marine and protective and our powder coatings business. Our in automotive and vehicle refinish obviously had a few challenges, more from a quarter point of view, but fundamentally the business is strong with very sharp margins. And we also had a bit of a challenge on the coil coating part of our industrial coating business, primarily because we've had large supplies to export markets where we had to take a bit of a correction, primarily because of certain economic challenges in a couple of those countries. So that's all in all as far as revenue is concerned. On the profit, as you've seen, at an EBIT level, we were flat, and at a profit level, we were down 5%. One reason for that, of course, if you really look at it very closely, is also the income, primarily given the fact that we had given a special dividend during November last year. As all of you know, Akzo Nobel is celebrating 70 years in India, and as a result, we, as a management team, with the approval of the board, decided to do it. So when you look at the income that is normally generated from the funds, the fixed funds, you can see a slight drop, which is the reason why there's a slight decline in PAT. But otherwise, we believe that the company is in great shape. We believe that despite pretty adverse market conditions in our paints business, we've been able to hold fort. We still believe that with the launches that are being done at the top end of the portfolio, and a few launches in the waterproofing segment, which was done towards the end of the quarter, we believe that we've still got a right to win. And we, as a team, are completely focused on making sure that the business delivery continues to be strong. Yeah. So that's what I would like to say. Let me now open it to Q&A. And what I would do is I would now pass it back to Yashasvi and to Anirudh and open the floor for question answers between me, Krishna, and Rohit. We'll do our best to sort of address some of the concerns. And Rajiv has already been kind enough to read the safe harbor statement. So I'm sure that all of you would be understanding on the same. Yeah, thank you. Back to you, Yashasvi.
Thank you, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. To ask an interactive question, please click on the raise hand icon tab available on the toolbar, or you may click on Q&A icon to raise hand. The operator will announce your name when it is your turn to ask a question. You may also post your text questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We'll take our first question from Jayvansh Mehta from Care PMS. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir, and thank you for the opportunity. So my first question was basically in the latest budget, we saw that there has been a consumption boost. So how do we see the impact of that on the industry going forward?
I think first and foremost, we really thank the government. I think the consumption boost is a very welcome move. I think, frankly, it's something that in the industry, all the CEOs during the IPA had also were all together, and we had made a specific request to the Commerce Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal, when he addressed the entire gathering live. We had made a request in terms of two sectors. One is MSME, and second was the tax, particularly for the middle class. And we are delighted to see that both have been addressed. We believe that this is going to give you tailwind. First and foremost, the tax is effective from April. So, to expect that the results of this quarter would start seeing a difference when the money is only going to come in April is, something that we have to recognize. Secondly, in my belief that it will take about a month or two for people to digest that they are seeing a delta income in their hands, right? And once that starts kicking in a month or two, and remember that we are moving in the month of May and June to the holiday season, right? So you would start first seeing, to me, the key consumption sectors which are essential pick up. Remember, paints is discretionary, so we lag a bit in terms of it. But I believe that starting from the second half, we should start really seeing an uptick, which is what we had already plugged in. And we believe that the second half this year, with other things being equal, will see a very sharp rise. This sector, if you look at the paints and coatings business over the last few quarters, when you look at the industry growth, including the growth of the new players, we believe that the GDP multiple, which used to hover around 1.5 to 2, had come down all the way to about a zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.8. You may argue even 0.9 or 1, right? We believe that this is slowly going to catch up. The catch up is going to be a little slow because the monies are kicking in now. Remember that there are two parts. There is a central government disbursement and a state government disbursement. We also have a few state elections, and as and when the state elections get complete by the end of the second half, we should start seeing a sharp uptick. So to answer your question, welcome move, sharp uptick. We believe that we will be, particularly on the real estate and infrastructure segments, seeing a sharp boost. And as a result, we are very confident that this is what is going to drive back double-digit volume growth towards the second half for the paints and coatings businesses.
Okay, so thank you, sir. That was a very detailed answer. Thank you for that. And so my second question was on the line that we saw a decrease in the employee benefit expense in the latest quarter on a sequential basis as well as on the YOY basis. So would there be any explanation to that?
Krishna, would you like to?
Yeah. Javens, what we normally do is that we do get the review of the employee provisions and get the actual evaluations done in the December quarter so that we drew up the cost lines there, which has resulted in the reduction in the costs. The underlying employment cost, isolating the actual evaluation impacts and the reversals, is intact, and that's a long and short term for the question.
Yeah. Tansh, that I hopefully answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And sir, just a last question on can you just share on the thought process behind the restructuring that we are doing? Obviously, not only specifics and all, but just a thought process that what that we have while doing the restructuring of the entity that we are currently going under.
Jaivansh, can you mute? One moment, sir. Jaivansh, can you please self-mute? There's background noise on your line. Yeah. So please go ahead.
Sorry for that.
Yeah. So look, I don't know what if you're talking about the strategic review when you say restructuring.
No, sir. Like the plans that we have, that the industrial coating business and the R&D will be under the parent entity going forward. So
Okay. Look, to be honest, these are very initial thoughts. These are not final. In the spirit of true disclosure, when the parent got in touch with us and said they wanted to carve out the powder coating business and the R&D business, the thought was to keep the two distinct businesses, liquid coatings and basically what the globe believes that they can continue if they continuously they own, they can see a higher value add, which is in the powder coating business where there's a lot of R&D development which is done centrally, and the global what we call the International Research Center. What the International Research Center in Bangalore does, it does the color development for the automotive and specialty coatings. Remember that we also sponsor McLaren Mercedes F1 and a lot of the color testing, because these are very difficult conditions in which we have to paint a car, is all done throughout Bangalore lab is used as the test bed. So which is the reason why they have carved out. But again, to answer this question, James, this is a request which has come from the globe, and we've been upfront as in the spirit of true governance to immediately notify it, first to bring it to the board, inform the board, and the board has then asked to notify to the stock exchanges, which we've done. This doesn't mean that this is the first step, and obviously this is undergoing various evaluations, and we'll come back to you as and when we believe that we are in a position to do it. The thought is very simple. The powder coatings business globally, we are number one with a huge market share over the number two player, and that could be possibly the thought process behind it. At International Research Center, I've explained to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. That's all from my side, and all the best.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take our next question from Anirudh Joshi from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, 2-3 questions. One, we are doing extremely well B2B side, and we have seen good favorable data in infra, power, mining, marine, as well as real estate sectors. So what are the key things that we have started doing differently or superior, which is leading to the higher momentum in paints as well as coatings? So that is one question. Question number 2 is regarding Dulux Promise Freedom, the new latex paint we have introduced. So indicatively, how big is the market and what is the strategy over here? So whether it is first of all a pan-India launch or it's more of a trial launch at this stage, or it is launched any region specific. So big is the product, etc. It is the second question. And in third question, now we have gained market share for 12 straight quarter in a row. So is the distributor model is really working, or in a way, what is driving the market shares in the decorative side of the market as well? Yeah, that's it from my
Thank you.
three questions.
Thank you, Anirudh. Thank you. I'll do the first part and I'll invite Rohit's thoughts on the second and third, but I'll obviously then end the answer once Rohit gives his thoughts. Yeah. So on the B2B business, look, I think on the paint side, the B2B business has been growing now for almost 2 years. We had a bit of a blip in between, primarily when the elections happened, because remember that a lot of the real estate investments, so we've got basically in the B2B business repainting. We've got building and and construction. We've got commercial properties and garment, right? And one of the largest drivers of the business, which was both garment and commercial properties, took a little bit of a dip in the last 6 months. That started slowly, obviously inching back. And the real estate, as all of you've seen, you're seeing the numbers of all the players. We cater to the marquee, builders. We're very fortunate that we've got a fantastic relationship with some of the key marquee builders, and they've been doing well, and hence our share of the business has gone up. Similarly, on the coating side, our B2B in both, if you look at, you talked of marine, we are delighted that we got an opportunity to paint the 3 ships, Surat and the other 2 we recently. Similarly, as you know, we done INS Vikrant, and based on the work that we've done, we've got a lot more from the Indian Navy. We also do a little bit on coastal, not just the Navy side, in terms of dry docks, and that business has seen a bit of an upsurge. We've also, on the protective side, we've obviously enhanced. The team has done a brilliant job, not just on the relationship management, but also on certain products which have come in, which are slightly improved versions of anti-fouling on marine, on lining, and on fireproofing, right? So these are some of the things that the team has done, and they obviously have cracked a lot of accounts, including certain high growth areas like data centers, etc., which I alluded to in the last quarter. Yeah. So all in all, I would say that, look, the overall, and it's something that you're seeing consistently across when you look at the building material players. The B2B part of the business still is fairly robust. It's seen a good support, and obviously we had a little bit of headwind during the election time, general election, and months till the Maharashtra elections were over. But now we believe that the key markets are slowly coming back, and we have got every reason to believe going forward. And if I were to look at, for example, January as an indicator, we've good start, right? So I believe that B2B businesses are doing well. On the B2C side, just before I hand it over to Rohit, of course, we've had a bit of challenges, but we've made terrific progress on distribution. As all of you know, we are the only player perhaps which has launched the distributor model way back into 2013-14, and we've got about 160 odd distributors, with almost about 90% of them being with more than 10 years with us. It's a deep relationship that we built. Rohit and team have then taken forward to hub and spoke, where we decided to go into the next set of towns, and now I invite Rohit to walk you through why we are getting share gain in the decorative side on retail, and also the latest latex paint launch. Rohit, over to you.
Thanks.
Anirudh, you can hear him?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Not very clear, sir.
So voice is bit feeble.
Okay. You can hear me now?
A little better.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Okay. So let me start with your question on the latex paint, which is Freedom. Basically, it was again a test of concept, which we typically started doing that in Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. And your question number 2 and 3 answers are the same, because our distribution is expanding and we are moving into lower pop strata towns, as well as we are increasing our reach. Typically, Dulux was considered as a premium player, but we are now offering across the spectrum all the products, and with the best in class quality. And this is where to really ride on our distribution wave, what we have launched is this concept. We are testing this concept as of now in last 2 months in Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, and depending on the outcome, we will expand pan India. On the retail side of the business, what we are doing a lot of activity on digitization and automation to give a better customer service, and a flurry of products launches across the categories, including the waterproofing and innovation of our product portfolio, which is typically helping us in re-establishing our presence and reinforcing our quality promises in the market.
Yeah. So just to add to Rohit and Anirudh, just to summarize two things. That explained, obviously, we are not the first in the industry, but we believe that we've got a proposition using the brand freedom to really explode the market. We are testing it for 3 months. We are looking at it because the market adoption for some of the other industry players was not very sharp. So we've sharpened it a bit with a bit of R&D work on it, and we are testing to see what is the adoption. Initial early stages show it's doing reasonably okay, but obviously we've got a very ambitious plan. So let's see how it progresses, and we'll keep you updated. Distribution, as Rohit said, look, the idea was that our challenge when I came in 2013 to now, and if I look at even from 2009 when Akzo acquired ICI, there were a lot of fixes that we had to do. We had to first get the quality mojo back. And it took us a long while because of the challenges or during the transition from ICI to Akzo. And really, the focus was really how can the market tell us and not we tell the market that we are the best in class. If you look at it, the needle really changed in the last 3 years, post-COVID in particular. And when we launched the Dulux Promise, Dulux Assurance Program, right, where we said we are willing to give a guaranteed money-back offer on this coverage, quality, and consistency. And with that, we started seeing a sharp uptick across our premium brands because obviously it gave a vote of confidence on the brand. We plan, you will see a very short 2.0 happening in the next few months on this particular program. And to build that, we had to launch the entire assortment, which is what Rohit and the team have been working very hard along with the marketing team, right? And we believe that, look, our challenge was that we never had the assortment, so which is the reason why we entered segments like putty and mass. Our purpose of playing in mass is to make sure that we get the rightful share gain in premium. A 15, 16% market share in premium is not enough. We want to we are ambitious. We want to drive it, dial it more. But to do that, you have to now be present in the smaller towns where premium is consumed, right? And obviously, when we guys travel, we see a lot of premium consumption in smaller towns. So the idea was to build a portfolio, do it. And that's the logic with which we have launched some of these categories, including Promise Smart Choice, which has done brilliantly for us and really changed the game. And to answer your question, yes, I mean, the fruit of that labor is the fact that we've been able to clock market share gain. We had done an external survey, and the external survey has also come back to us quite recently, validating the market share gains. I want to be also, with all humility, say that this is not happening across India. There are about 7 states which are leading it. There are a few other states where we still need to drive it further, and that's work in progress, and we will keep you updated as we move forward. Anirudh, hopefully that's answered your question.
Yes, this is very, very helpful. Many thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Lakshmi Narayanan Ganapati from Tunga Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yes, Lakshmi, very much.
Yeah. So my question is related to there has been for the last 90 days or so, there has been enough media as well as company communication saying that your business would be restructured, right? Now, my question is that how is the employee morale and the distribution morale? Because it puts in kind of uncertainty, and how as a company you are actually handling it. Are you able to rope in new distributors?
Go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead. No, I just want to your thoughts on this, how you're handling it.
So first and foremost, look, I think I would like to state, and I think we've put a clarification as and when required when we really think it's material. Look, market rumors will continue. I mean, that's the rule. With all my, humble, learnings of the last few years and complete respect, I have great respect to all my media colleagues. This is a part of life. We've been very upfront to employees, and we've said that these rumors will come. The fact that we've had, 6 husbands. I mean, if you were to look at an analogy in the last few quarter, I was in the market in Calcutta in 3 months ago when one name of one player came. Then 3 weeks ago, I was in a different market, another player. So dealers also understand when you tell them that, look, now you're telling us so many names, you guys decided come back. They all laugh. So look, I'll tell you, Lakshmi, what we are doing. Okay, we have a regular, weekly, a monthly, at least twice or thrice catch up with all employees. My spirit is to tell the employees that you'll be the first to know. And if any material conversation happens, we follow protocols, right? So I've requested our parent that if there is material information, given my role as chairman and managing director, anything that's told to me has to be informed to the board, stock exchanges, and as soon as we put on the stock exchanges, we immediately, similarly, at the same time, have call with the employees with maybe a 5-10 minute lag to make sure there is no issue, right? And we have honest conversations. The leadership has been traveling to most of the markets, have been traveling across to locations, speaking to employees. The functional leaders are also reaching out. I believe that there was a lot of anxiety in the first 3-4 weeks, but now everything has died down, right? People realize that the outcome may or may not also happen. Yeah. They also realize that, look, because remember that the market cap in India has slightly fallen, and finally it's up to the parent to decide what is the value they see, etc. And our job has been to keep the business focused, and you're seeing it in the results. The other yardstick I look at is look at the attrition. I mean, normally when these announcements happen, you have a lot of resignations of the top team. We've had zero attrition at a key talent managerial level. Yes, our attrition in the front line continues to be the same as that was there even 12 months or even 24 months preceding the announcement, right? So nothing has changed. We've got strong programs which are to keep all of us focused on the business. We love this company. We love this brand. You've seen it on the website. I Love Dulux is something that's not just a logo. It's something that's deeply embedded in us. And I think, if and when a material, information is available, Lakshmi, we will be the first to keep you. As far as the dealers are concerned, similarly, we fortunately this community, the dealer community, Rohit has spent 15 years. I've spent 12 years in the company. People know us by name. We know families of more than top 2,500, maybe 5,000 dealers by name, right? And hopefully another 8,000, with a little bit of a nudge, right? But the reality is that initially there was a lot of fear. I'm saying that what will happen. But I think over a period of time now, people have realized that, look, this is a strong brand. What is the purpose of doing the strategic review? The purpose of the strategic review, if you look at what Greg said, our global CEO, is to take Akzo Nobel India to the winning position for various reasons, right? The globe believes that given the global assortment and portfolio, the ability to invest now with the sort of competition you're seeing in India perhaps needs a little bit of a local hand, right? And that's what we are trying to do. Can we combine forces? And that's, there are various options which are still in discussion and thought to say, can we combine hands to try and move this brand to a winning position, right? It'll take a lot of humility to also, it's a brand that I've now managed for 10 years. I can tell you it's a brand that is very infectious. For consumers, 90% of our consumers who've used our brand, and there's again a study on that to prove it, have come back to use the brand, right? So the challenge is to get more and more people to use it. That's the reason we are playing in now a larger sense in the last 5 years on portfolio. But we are very clear that we are very disciplined in the way we execute. We do not give things free. We do not drop pricing. And hence, while people are adopting different practices, and I'm fine with that because we've seen that in different industries, we believe in this industry running things in a very mature manner, as we've also seen from some of the new players, is very important and a critical success factor for the future.
Got it. I think in terms of new recruitment and business, taking, empaneling, getting more distributors, is it business as usual